Hello, today we're at Big Bull Creek. It's over in Edgerton, Kansas. This is hole number 1. I'm just going to be playing the reds today. This first hole is about 356 feet. Disc I'm using is the Blackout and Radioactive Classic. It's from the company Doomsday. It's about 8 speed. Yep, next shot using mid-range Desolation. This is in our glow plastic, radioactive plastic. Eight, 10 feet out. I'm just gonna go ahead and just shoot in with the Area 51 putter. All right, we're at hole 2. It's about 305 feet for the red. This time I'm using the Blackout, this time the deflatable plastic. It's a little bit more stiff compared to radioactive. Radioactive is supposed to glow in the dark and have a little bit more of a grip feel. This one and this plastic, I feel like it's a little bit more overstable, but they both fly about the same. So about 80 feet out, just gonna lay it up the Area 51. Well, it's about 12 feet. Hole 3, we're about 274 feet away from the basket. Wind's kind of coming from the south here. We're facing west right now. Going back with the same Doomsday disc. Not too bad. Looks like we're center of the fairway. Still probably about 50. Looks like we're about 60 feet away from the basket, roughly. We're going to use the same putter. Just lay it up, tap it in. Good. Finish running the basket, so we're finished par for holes 1 and 3. All right, we're now on hole 4. For the reds, about 350 feet. For fun, since I got nobody behind me, I'm going to throw 2 different drivers for fun. First one is the Cataclysm. It's 11 speed by Doomsday. This is in a radioactive plastic. It's kind of a bit more reliable. This one glows a very nice blue at night. And then just for fun, I don't think anybody's made a review on this one yet. This is Doomsday Flying Guillotine. It's their Halloween plastic. There's no numbers on this disc yet, so I'll probably throw a couple holes. I'll try and give you a recommendation what number I think they are. I think it's not approved by the PGDA, mainly because I think they said it's just too narrow. You can kind of see with my Cataclysm, the point is very sharp, and then on the inside for the fingers, it's a little bit more narrow for your finger and all that. So I think that's why it's didn't get approved. It's too shallow or too sharp. Of course I ground it, so here's just the second driver. Yeah, I know my best drives. The Guillotine had a little bit of skip at the end, so it's close one to basket compared to my Cataclysm. Then since we're approaching here about maybe 150 feet out, just going to throw the Desolation, just lay up to it. Yep, that'll putt. Looks like we're probably about 6 to 8 feet away. So we're about 12 feet out. You know, same disc, Area 51. Yep, keeping the power train going. Yep, here we are at hole number 5, par 3 for 297 feet. I'm going to just use my little mid-range Desolation on this. All right, we're roughly 35 feet away from the basket. It's almost my my putting range. Just for fun, I'm going to throw 3 discs, see if I can get that birdie. So the first one's just the Area 51. It flies kind of like the end of a pig in a way. It's a 4.302.5, so a little longer shot, usually fades back to the left at the end. Then depth charge, it's kind of like a meme disc in a way. It's really like you're throwing a lid, not like a garbage lid and all that, but I kind of like it for the power grips and all that. So it's more like my distance approach putter. So if I'm like 200 feet out or something like that, or 150, I might lay up this disc. It flies really straight if you get a lot of spin on it. Last one is my team's Doomsday putter. This is called the Gloom. It's a 2, 3, -1 and 1. So for the most part, it should fly pretty straight. I just got this the other day. Had a whole lot of practice with it, so we'll see if we can get in hold of it. Hey, first try. Turn on birdie. It's a -1 for the course right now. All right, we just got done with hole number 5. We're at -1. I just wanted to show you guys something real quick. A lot of people, I think, get confused. They miss, or after they finish hole 4, they go straight to 7. I really should have took a video of where you guys need to turn at. When you finish hole 4, it's really easy to go right because you see the box. That's hole 7. That's the tee off for 7. You should take a left, and then you'll finish right up there for the hole 5 tee off box. Then it gets kind of confusing down here again because after you finish up here on hole 5, it's really easy. You walk straight over, you see 6, then you'll walk over to 7. So some people get confused, they're not sure where to go from there. So you see it right here, looks like rain or whatever. Then whether or not this is actually our trail where you need to go down on it. And if you're playing blues, this is where your distance basket's at. So you actually have a lot of trees and other stuff you gotta throw over. On that trail here, see it's kind of rough and all. We had some rain recently, so still have a little bit of rain and mud down here. So if we were playing distance today, that would be our basket for hole 5, the blue over there. You see, that's like a not very big target for you to hit. You have all this trees and stuff to throw over. It's very easy to miss a shot, lose a disc in this tall grass or in the woodwork. But I thought it was kind of cool. So anyways, you gotta walk down here to get to your tee box 6. And that straight over there is like a little creek, so you get a little bit of water stuff. And here's hole 6. This one's really kind of interesting because this is the only hole you really got to throw up a big ass hill and all that. So I think it's only about 180 feet. Your goal is to, like I said, you just got to throw up the hill. You see like those 2 little evergreen trees. Your goal is to try to throw in between those 2. And then the basket will be a little bit to your left up there. And then if you do get punished on this hole, it'll be basically because you didn't throw high enough. You'll hit the hill or a tree. Your disc will roll all the way back down into all this brush right here. Luckily, this is still kind of overgrown. When they have this mode and all that, it's like a straight shot for your disc to roll in the creek and all that. So now you see we had some rain recently, so if you do somehow mess up really bad, get that one terrible roll, you could get wet on this hole. But it's just one more of the fun things about this course and all that. So we'll see how I can putt on it. All right, for this hole, I'm just gonna, for hole 6, just gonna use my mid-range. My goal is to try and get between the 2 evergreens. Hopefully I fade a little bit to the left. I'll be closer to the basket. You do want to be careful on this one. I don't know if you can kind of see it, but if you overthrow it or somehow have a terrible roll, that basket is pretty close to a hill and all that. So if you miss it by too much, you could end up rolling down a really rough area. So for this hole, it's better to be a little farther to the right than going hard left. A little skip, same a little ways from the basket, but I'm at least in between the 2 evergreen trees like I wanted. Alright, looks like I'm roughly 80 feet out. So once again, I'm just going to try and lay up with the Area 51 here, and then hopefully we can tap it in. All right, we're at hole 7, distance about 314 feet. The left side of the basket is pretty rough and all that. There's a big drop off. So your goal is to try and throw your disc a little bit to the right, kind of lay up to it. Because if you throw to the left, there's a bunch of trees and there's a good chance your disc could roll down that creek we're talking about. Oh yeah, using the Fatal Plastic Blackout. And I'm just gonna go ahead and throw my depth charge. It's just kind of a nice, it's a putter, but I kind of like the power grip on it. I can get relatively accurate throwing it straight, so I think it's in range for my putter, so I'll throw this, just kind of lay up and in. A little more skip than I wanted, but it should be close. Yeah, since my depth charge got me up here, I'll go ahead and tap it in with this guy. Looks like we're maybe 15, 16 feet out. Yep, right, we're at hole 8. To get the red basket, it's just 304 feet. If you were playing blue, it would be about 428. I'm just going to try and just lay it up with my Fatal Plastic Blackout. Of course, I hit the one tree to the left side, just kind of bounced off the branch. Looks like I'm just on the fairway, just on the left side there. All right, where we are, roughly 60 feet out. Just for fun, I'm going to throw all 3 of my putters at it. Then we'll see how close we can get, then I'll tap it in. First one's Gloom. Layup. Doing depth charge. And lastly, Area 51. Looks like pop. Got Gloom. That's why I normally don't putt with the depth charge. Depth charge has a little bit more float compared to the other 2 discs. And it's just kind of a weird disc. Like I said, it's good for approaches, but coming to putt like that, it's just very easy to get too comfortable and throw high. All right, we are at hole 9. It's roughly 214 feet to the basket. It's all downhill. Then we have a nice little row of trees up front. So the best thing you can do is just throw where you can, pray you make it through. If not, once you hit a tree, yeah, you're just going to shoot off. So we'll have fun here. Throw my Desolation. Like I said, hit tree. It looks like I bounced straight down, so where I land at, I'll probably be about 40 feet from the basket. We'll see. Yeah, got a little slope here. We're probably about 50 feet out from the basket. I'm just going to try and do a quick layup, then hopefully we can go from there. Yeah, throw underneath the basket, just throwing the Gloom for fun. Yeah, it's from the basket. Par on this hole, I think 10. All right, we're at hole 10. The red hole's about 190 feet. The one out in the middle you should probably see is the blue one's 232 feet. And this is the one basket on this course where it's actually a 3rd basket. That one is 622 feet. Right behind the blue basket is a little creek and all that. So if you're playing the long basket, try and lay up to the blue. then you should be able to throw up and over to the basket. We're just playing the red today, so I'm throwing my mid-range. This one has a little fade to right, so it should get me pretty close to the basket. Yeah, we're pretty straight, but yeah, I actually had a shot at either basket, depends where you're playing. Yep, just in front of the basket here, we are about 35 feet away from it. Let's be for birdie if we can get it. Oh, weak. Right, we're at hole 11. Red basket around 330 feet. Blue around 350. Going with my usual blackout. Yeah, nice little fade at the end, right in the middle of the fairway. Yeah, put a nice little pro switch to blackout. I think the disc went lower 300 feet. We're still about maybe 30, 35 feet away from the basket. Just going to use the Area 51, just kind of lay up, touch it in. It should be good for par. Yeah, I could dodge up, laying up. We're still about 12, 15 feet out. All right, we're at hole 12. To get to the red basket is 303 feet. Blue basket would be 375. This hole we got a little bit of a hill up front, so the goal is to throw a little high, hopefully fade back to the left. It actually helped the line there. That's good thing with the blackout. Whatever line you put on, it will stick to it. I gave it a little too much anhyzer. She went a little to the right, but we'll be able to find. Looks like we're still probably about 100 feet from the basket. I got people behind me, so I'm trying to do a speed run here. Going with my trusted mid-range here. Yeah, looks like we got a long shot for I guess par. Looks like I overthrew it by about 30 feet. Luckily the wind's kind of died down, so hopefully I get a good shot here on it. There you go, kids. Right, we're at hole 13. I like to call it the hedge apple capital of the world. I know in the distance we got a tree just completely covered hedge apples on the ground and all that. So we're doing the red, that's what we're doing today. It's only 170 feet, but you got to hook it hard to the right. So it's good if you have a forearm throw. Then in the distance, 354 feet is the blue basket. So super fun. There's a new disc, still trying it out here. Gonna try a little forearm throw, see if I can get it to the right. Yep, not bad. Had a nice little skip at the end. We'll see how close I'm at to the best where I landed at. So yeah, if I gave it just a little bit more power, a little bit more hyzer, would have been a little closer to the basket. We're still probably about maybe 40 feet out. Yeah, it cracks me up. If you look over your ladder, there's a bunch of hedge apples everywhere. So good for breaking angles or throwing at your buddies. All right, throwing two discs for fun here. We'll see how close I can get. Whoa. Here's how it goes. So yeah, both discs are pretty close, so we should be for par for this hole. I'll just bring you along here. We're here on hole 14. It's one of my favorite practice holes on the course. As you can see, it's kind of nice, wide open and everything. The first basket's around 336 feet. Then the second one is 640 feet. The other hole I'd recommend if you want to practice is hole number 4. I think the first basket's around 350 feet, but it's kind of similar to this. Everything's nice and wide open, so it's very hard for you to lose your disc unless you almost intentionally throw yourself deep into the grass somewhere. So. Alright, so for this hole, just for fun, I'm going to be throwing 2 discs, just my normal blackout. Then I'm still working on this guillotine here and the Halloween stamp, so still try to see how it flies, but it's an interesting disc so far. Like we land by that first tree at the middle to the left. I go for the guillotine. Yep, right. Probably still about 70 feet from the basket. Guillotine that last time landed about 15 feet shorter than my blackout. Probably still have the arm for it, so I'm guessing it's probably a 12 or a 13 speed, but more practice. I'll compare it to other discs, see where it's at. So since I'm going for approach, just using my mid-range here. Nice easy layup. So I threw it a little hard. That one just right in front of the basket, so I was pretty close on it. Layup, I think I overthrew that by about 20 feet again. So yeah, I'm just gonna lay up, or gonna go for the basket with my Area 51. Then also got my gloom here, so I'll throw both at him. Throw everything at it. You saw that the gloom had a little bit more lift than the Area 51. I think the Area 51 you have to have a lot more speed to get to go, then the gloom just floats and all that. So it's an interesting disc. All right, we're on hole 15. The par 3 is 375 feet. It's up to your right. And then the par 4 is 542 feet. It's kind of behind the trees to your left. For me, it's kind of like my nightmare hole. For some reason, this late in the game, I'm usually a little bit fatigued, so a lot of my shots go a little bit to the right. And it seems like I always hit a tree, even though for the most part it's pretty open, and we're going downhill, so you should get good range on it. So for safety, just trying to stick with what I've been using most today. I'm most comfortable with this disc right now, so gonna throw. Hopefully it'll come a little bit to the left. We'll be close to the basket. Yep, just like I said, it kind of hooked back, had a nice little S pattern right at the very end. I did nick that same tree again, so it's definitely over 300 feet, maybe 330, 340. We'll see how close we are when we get to it. Found my blackout, just landed right here on the edge, pretty close OB, but still 8 in. Realistically, that tree probably saved me, but as you can see, all these big, nasty, thorny trees just right along here for outbounds. Seems like it doesn't matter what I do, I always end up somehow clipping these guys coming in, approaching the basket. Yeah, got gnarly thorn there. So just gonna use my Area 51, just kind of approach the basket. We'll go from there. I'm gonna throw my Area 51, then I'll follow up my gloom. Alright, we're at hole 16. This is one of my other holes I kind of struggle with. We're throwing uphill. The basket is about 320 feet away. If we're going for blue, it's 448 feet. But for me, with that tree that right in the middle, seems like it doesn't matter what I do, I always finding a way to hit that. Then the basket is kind of hard to see. It's just a little to the right to the evergreen up there. Land on the edge there. I think I gave us a little too much Anheuser. Usually if you throw it perfectly flat, it'll kind of hook back at the end. That time gave too much anhyzer, so I went to the right at the end there. We made it up the hill. We managed to miss the tree, but unfortunately, how steep this hill is, I still kind of hit the hill a little bit. At least I'm on top of the hump. But I'm in the grass here, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick up my blackout. Go ahead and give it a little toss. Long for par, a little over 30 feet. Let's start off the Area 51, followed by the Gloom. Get her, Gloom. Not my day. So yeah, we'll go for a bogey on this one. Bogey. Bogey. Alright, we're here at hole 17. First hole, the red is 340 feet. Blue is 596 feet. Looks like the wind really died down. Got the hole to myself right now, so just for fun, I'm going to throw 3 discs. I'm just going to be playing off the blackout. But, got the guillotine. Still trying to get a good feel for this one, so it's a practice throw. Then Cataclysm is still my favorite distance driver. When it comes to playing, I have a very beautiful glow at night. I'll try to get that in a video later. Then catch it. Like I playing off the blackout, it's kind of interesting. They all did kind of land relatively close together. Guillotine was the farthest back. Then the Cataclysm, probably an extra 20 feet up ahead on the left. That's probably the best that I should play that, but last time I'm playing on the first disc here, so just gonna throw my blackout again. That's roughly about 150 feet out, so we'll see if I can get the right power. Just kind of lay it up on it. Yep. Beautiful little skip at the end, so it looks like we're right in front of the basket. We'll see how close we are. I'm going to start off with the Area 51 Gloom. Oh, weak. On the left. Throw the whole basket at it. We just made the last hole, hole 18. The basket's roughly about 308 feet. It's right behind that wall. That wall's like, I think, a little over 200 feet. And then the last basket is 636 feet. So, I'm just going to use a blackout fatal. Land right in front of the mound there. So roughly about 100 feet out. Just gonna lay off my mid-range. Just gotta throw the wall here. Right in front of the basket there, so should still be good for power. Yep. Approaching the last hole here, so yeah, just land in front of the basket there. It wasn't that hard to lay up to it, so yeah, tap in with it. Ta-da! Yep, just finished up my 18th hole. Overall, it's a very nice course. Once again, it's a Big Bull Creek. It's over in Edgerton, Kansas. It's a nice 18-hole course. And like I said, as you can see, hole 18 is right over there. It's just all grass and everything. Nothing too major obstacles getting away. Come here in the parking lot. Then we're back here at hole 1 and everything. Then even before you start playing your game, you got about 5 different putting baskets, so you can kind of do like a nice little circuit when you warm up before you play. But yep, like I said, I'm going to try and make some more content in the future. This will be my main testing ground for you guys. I'll probably try different discs on different holes and all that. But if you want to come out here yourself and play, and if you just want to strictly do your practice, my recommendation will be hole 4 and 14. They're both pretty well open, pretty well mowed and everything. You don't have any major hazards to lose a disc or anything. Overall, the course, the main obstacle is just tall grass. There are a few areas in the back where there are a lot of trees. There is one hole where you have a small water hazard, but for the most part, if you lay up, you shouldn't have any issues with it. So, but yep, overall, let you guys get back to it. You have a good one.